Hey, babe, I'm really excited about today's podcast.
I am too, because I'm feeling kind of autumnish.
Yeah, everybody's starting to put their RVs away. Well, we're still in the summer. Maybe not yet, but they're getting ready to put their RVs away.
And we're thinking about pumpkin spice lattes.
Right. Well, we're going to talk about 5 cool Harvest Host locations where you can really enjoy the location and autumn.
I know it's going to be so exciting. I can't wait to hear about all of these great locations.
So put your seatbelts on.
Because here we go.
Did you know that 46 million Americans plan to take an RV trip in the next 12 months? 90% of recreational vehicle owners take 3 or more mini vacations every year. Welcome to the RV Destinations Podcast. If it's RV travel, we're talking about it. From campgrounds to museums to national and state parks, kayaking and hiking opportunities. One of the most fun and pleasurable things you can do is just hit the road. So be ready to be inspired. Welcome in to the RV Destinations Podcast. Now your host, President Randy Beheimer and Editor-in-Chief, Caly Beheimer.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Welcome in officially to the RV Destinations Podcast.
Yep, we're here, and we are live from about the last 2 or 3 weeks in our stick home.
I know. If you all could see the craziness outside of all these cameras and lights, like we have this guy that has been helping us out for like 10 years since we've been in this house, and he came over, took all the pictures off the walls. He's been packing everything up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not our house anymore.
For all those listening to the podcast, we've sold our home and we're getting ready to go full time into an RV. In fact, we've committed to a new RV, and we should be getting that in another month or two.
I know. I'm so excited. I can't see straight.
We finally decided on a Allegro bus 45 OPP.
And I'm hoping that Tiffin will send me, even if it's a faux Stanley, because right now I have a Forest River Stanley, and we don't own a Forest River. So, it's a faux Stanley. But if y'all want to send me like a faux Tiffin.
There you go. Tiffin, give us one shirt and a Stanley Cup, and we'll give you free advertising. All right, but today, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about autumn Harvest Host locations.
Yes, because people are starting to put their maybe not yet. Again, we're recording this in August. Nobody's putting their RVs away yet.
No, not yet.
But we're going to start thinking about it, a lot of us. And so don't do it yet. You might want to go enjoy some autumn locations.
Yes, because there's so many great things to see and do still. And what I love about the Harvest Host Network as a whole is that this is something you can really do even in a weekend. So yes, use it absolutely as you're traveling across the country to your next destination. But what I've loved that we've talked about so many times is have a Harvest Host date weekend. And these are some great locations that you can go to in the fall for a fabulous pumpkin-filled, autumn-filled date weekend.
Chai latte.
Right. Pumpkin spice lattes.
All right. We got a special guest here with us today, too, from Harvest Host.
We do. We have Alyssa Chartier, and she is the brand marketing manager with Harvest Host. Hello, Alyssa. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. Congratulations on your new rig.
Thanks.
Well, we haven't got it yet, but we've identified it, and there's like 4 of them out there, and we're like so involved in getting everything out of the house.
Yeah.
And when you go full time, and did you tell me you're full time?
I am full time.
Okay, I thought you had told me that. So you probably remember selling everything off, and you're not just boxing up to move it to another place. You're selling everything off, and it's been a long process.
It is overwhelming because I get to the point. It's so interesting. Like you open up a cabinet that you haven't been into in 5 years, and now all of a sudden you're in that cabinet. And you're telling yourself, oh, maybe I do need this. Maybe it is worth $50. And I want $50 for it. And somebody's going, I'll give you $5. No, never mind. I'll keep it. And it's like, no, the whole point is getting rid of everything.
Well, and for me, it's kind of like, there's that 9-volt battery I was looking for 3 years ago.
Right.
I knew I needed that at some point. That cardboard box was waiting around for me.
It was. And it was nicely tucked away for 10 years in a corner.
Right. So where are you parked right now?
I am in Connecticut. Actually, we're having a East Coast summer. Decided to slow down a little bit and spend longer between locations to kind of get some breathing room because we've been going and going for about a year and a half now, and we're hitting that burnout, and we had to we had to take a few months and be like, okay, we're going to hang out at the in-laws and just be in our RV stationary for a second.
Now you have an Airstream, is that right? Am I remembering correct?
You're remembering correct. We're in a 2007. I didn't want to go with anything newer for some obvious reasons. Airstreams get pricey pretty fast.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we got a 2007 and we ended up putting solar on it, which has just been awesome. Absolutely love it.
That's amazing.
Good. And see, and this is good to hear because, Randy and I have talked to quite a few full-timers, and we've traveled extensively in the RV over the past 12 years of being together. But a lot of our trips were, a week here, 2 weeks there, but we've slowly started extending that. And we're just hearing from a lot of full-timers, take the time. Don't switch locations every single week. Just kind of chill, slow down, and enjoy where you are.
Absolutely. Yes. I think there's a little bit of ebb and flow to everything, but just that freedom to choose and be like, hey, I'm going to sit down here for a little bit longer and finding a place where you feel comfortable. There really is an ebb and flow to it if you're flying by the seat of your pants a little bit. And that's what makes it so great.
Yeah, we started, when we first started RVing, we're probably much like every RVer. We were going out we were driving 500 miles for 3 days and then go 500 miles back. And then we do 1,000 miles for a week. And we were just running ourselves to death, honestly. We did this one trip out to, we live in Kentucky. We went up from Kentucky all the way out to Utah and then back. And we were switching locations about it. Actually, we went out to Arizona. I'm sorry, Utah and Arizona.
Yeah.
And we were switching locations
every 2 to 3 days. And
Yeah.
it was, and that was one of the trips that I looked at you and I'm like, baby, I'm done. I can't do this. Because it's so much. Alyssa, as a full timer, it's like you get to a location, you nest. As women, we nest. That's what we do. I love to nest. So I pull everything out. I nest. I put up the pictures, fluff the pillows. I'm like, this is so great. And then 2 days later, Randy's like, wrap them up. We're heading out. And I'm like, ah. Wow. Exactly.
Sounds like a sad story.
It is a sad story.
Anyway, let's get refocused. Let's talk about autumn locations in the Harvest Host. But before we jump in, now we only have 5 today, and these are 5 really fun ones you want to stick around and listen to. Normally we do top 10, but we're only doing 5 today, and we're not doing these in any specific order.
No.
These are all great locations. But before we jump into all that, I wanted to pull up 10 fun facts about autumn. Everybody, Alyssa, you might not know that, but that's my job. I pull up some fun facts. And
that's my job.
That's my job. After that, you don't hear from me anymore.
You really don't. He just kind of chimes in when he feels like it's necessary.
That's right. So I'm going to read these. These are coming off of Winnie Palmer Natural Reserve.
Okay.
At St. Vincent's College.
Okay.
So Americans typically refer to this time of the year as fall, while the British use the word autumn. Both terms date back to the 16th century, but before that, it was called harvest.
Perfectly with Harvest Hosts.
Yep, I thought that was beautiful. Fact number 2, fall was called harvest because of the harvest moon that occurs when the full moon is closest to the autumn equinox. But before man-made lighting, this moonlight was essential to the prosperous harvest. So
that's totally fair because when the moon is super full, you can see everything, and when it gets darker earlier, you need that moonlight.
Right. What do you think? Alyssa, feel free to jump in here if you've got any thoughts here.
All right. I'm teeing them up.
Perfect.
Right, so fact number 3, and we all can probably relate to this: weight gain around this time of the year may not only be due to comforting fall foods. Hey, this is just.
I'm like, I need 15 pumpkin spice lattes a day, which have 500 calories a piece. And then you're like, and then I'll have some hot apple cider that's chock full of sugar.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let me finish this.
You finish.
The weight gain around this time may not be all because of comforting fall foods like pumpkin pie and cider. Researchers have found that a lack of vitamin D reduces fat breakdown and triggers fat storage.
Oh, great. We're all doomed in the Midwest, aren't we?
I think so.
So according to the Weather Channel, pumpkins are the most craved food during the fall. That's no far stretch there.
Right.
Although if you've left the house anytime recently, this may not come to you as a surprise, of course. The yellow and orange colors you see actually always exist in leaves, but they are overpowered by the abundance of green chlorophyll. Chlorophyll, I think.
Chlorophyll, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The amount of
Chloroform.
chloroform. That's different. Chlorophyll. The amount of chlorophyll starts to decrease as the sun weakens and the day grows shorter. So that's interesting. So they're always kind of reddish, orangish leaves. It's just the chlorophyll makes them green.
That's
Did you know
really
that, Alyssa?
I know that. No, that's
I
fascinating.
didn't either.
You didn't know you were going to be educated.
Right. Because I literally thought it just started dying off and that's why they change colors, which essentially that they are, but it's because of the lack of sunshine in our lives.
Yep. Fact number 6, red and purple leaves are only that color because of the presence of sugars and sap that are trapped within the leaves.
Oh, wow.
These sugars provide plants with the energy they need to survive.
That's super interesting.
We're learning all kinds of stuff here.
Not all sugar is bad. You know, you
That's
can
right.
get purple.
So if the zombie apocalypse happens, just chew on some leaves.
Right. Chew on some purple leaves. They have
Make you a
apparently
salad.
sugar in them, and so does Barney, the big purple dinosaur.
Right.
Yeah, there you
Fact
go.
number 7, many birds will prepare for their winter migration during the fall. The distance they can travel is impressive. The Arctic tern travels 11,000 miles each year.
Oh my God.
11,000 miles each way for its annual migration.
What?
That's no small feat.
Does it say where they migrate
It
from?
does not. You have to look that up.
11,000 miles.
Yeah, that sounds like us driving our RV for the weekend.
It really does, especially this recent trip we took. Jeez.
All right, almost done here. Fact number 8, evergreen trees such as pine, cedars, and spruces stay green because their leaves or needles are covered with thick wax and they contain materials that prevent freezing when it gets cold.
Yeah, that makes sense because you can see it. You can actually physically see it.
All right, so this one's a good one. I haven't
Okay.
read it yet, but I see a
But
few
it's
of
a
the
good
words.
one.
Men and women experience high levels of testosterone during the fall.
What? Right?
This makes sense because more babies are conceived during the fall and winter. The cause is unknown, but it could be due to the lack of sunlight or even go back to ancient mating rituals.
Wow. I mean, it kind of makes sense. It starts getting dark out. You look around and you're like, well, it's 4:00. It's dark. What do you want to do? Right?
Right. Yeah,
Kudos,
that's
baby.
right.
Kudos.
There are all those
All right.
blackout babies. Anytime there's a blackout, 9 months later.
Right.
Exactly. Right.
Right. And fun fact number 10, the last one. We can't forget Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween takes place in the fall and comes from ancient Celtic. I almost said
Celtic.
The Boston Celtics gets me every time. Celtic traditions. They believe that ghosts roam on Halloween and people would wear disguises in order to hide from these evil spirits or spirits. I added evil.
Well, yeah. Evil.
So autumn is such a fun time. I love sweater weather, so I'm excited to talk about these locations. And anyway, you want to jump in?
Yeah. Let's do this.
I will let the professional take over, Alyssa.
So now it's my turn. Now it's my turn to talk a lot. So the first one we're going to talk about is the Malta Drive-In Theater in Ballston Spa, New York. And this sounds so fun because what better way to welcome in the autumn season than to catch like a slasher film at a drive-in? And okay, now I'm looking at you, Randy. Wasn't one of the Jason, crazy masks, wasn't there like a scene at a drive-in movie theater? Do you remember?
Don't know.
Okay, I'm sure there's a horror movie somewhere with this. But anyway, so Alyssa, tell us about this location because this sounds amazing, especially something super fun to do this time of year.
This is one of our most popular drive-ins. We started adding drive-ins a couple of years ago, and it just took off. People were so excited, and so we had to add more. And this is one of the ones we added early on. It's right off the highway, and what I love about it is they haven't compromised on or really changed price in the past couple of years. $12 for an adult. I don't know about you guys, but my local AMC, it's like $20, and then it's
Right.
$40 for popcorn and $50 for a soda. What are we doing?
Right.
Right, $200 later, we went to the movies.
It does feel like it.
So there's something so nostalgic about going to the drive-ins.
Yes.
And Alyssa, I know you're quite a bit younger than us, but I remember.
I wouldn't say quite a bit younger than me. I'm still hanging on to my youth by my nails.
You're quite a bit younger than me.
Yeah, Randy's super old.
Okay,
And my wife's
well,
only a few years younger than me. But anyway, so I remember as a kid going there, and some of the listeners out there might relate that you used to get these little boxes that were on a wire, and you would hang them on your window, like the groove that the glass comes up to. You would hang it on the inside and then roll your window up, and the cord would be coming through.
And there was a little knob for the
And
volume.
it would sound like an AM radio like this.
The sound was horrible. It was like...
It would sound like this. And now, next movie coming up. But anyway, I actually forgot I had a megaphone on my...
That's a nice button. That's fun.
But anyway, but it was... I just remember some of the fondest memories that I had as a kid. And actually, this is a funny story. I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to. The first nude woman I ever saw was in a drive-in.
Was it Jaws?
Now, right, I was going to say, now, was it at the on the movie screen, or was she at the drive-in?
No, it was on the screen.
Okay.
So coming up out of Cincinnati, anybody that's familiar with the area, you come up, you go into Covington, and you're going south out of Cincinnati, and you come up this big hill, and it's called the Cut in the Hill, and right to the right used to be a drive-in. And we were coming up the hill. Now, I was probably only 5, 6 years old. We are digressing so far. I apologize to all the listeners and to you, Alyssa. But we're coming up to this road, and myself and my 2 brothers were in the back seat beating each other up as we did. And all of a sudden, we come across, and Porky's is playing on the screen.
On the massive screen.
And Alyssa, I don't know if you have any idea what I'm talking about when I say Porky's, but it was like the raunchiest raunch.
It was so raunchy.
But it was the shower scene where guys were peeping through the little holes that these girls taking a shower.
Yep. They had the glory holes.
And my mom turned around like, turn your head, kids.
Can you imagine telling 3 young boys, turn your head, and they're all like, no, ma'am. No, we will not.
And I kept, no, exactly. Well, I kept thinking to myself, like later on that, it was at night, but the drive home, I can't get it out. I kept thinking, man, when I get older, I'm going to break down right on the freeway right there and watch a whole movie for free.
Hashtag life goals.
I had some pretty big goals, but anyway, I digress so far. But
oh my gosh, that's so cute.
But no, it is something so awesome, and we have yet to do a drive-in at a Harvest Host location. I want to do that so bad.
Yeah, we were actually supposed to, but unfortunately, because the RV broke down, we had to change the plans.
Right.
Yes.
So how about the next one? What do we got next?
Yes. So the next one is the Bragg Farm Sugar House. And anything that has sugar in the title, is going to be amazing. This place is in Vermont. I'm going to attempt to pronounce it. East Montpelier. Well, if you're French, it'd be Montpelier or Montpelier. What do you think?
I think it's Montpelier.
Like
yeah, because my mom is like, like Perrier. My mom's last name is Carlier, and it ends IER. The whole French thing. Yay. So anyway, it's somewhere in Vermont. And Vermont is known for maple. So this place has a lot of different maple products, and they also have some other specialty food products and ice cream, and it sounds incredibly charming there. So tell us a little bit more about the Bragg Farm Sugar House.
This one is actually on my bucket list for autumn. Obviously, what I love about it is they've got treats right there. I was looking at photos of it the other day, and they've got ice cream, like any maple flavored thing that you can imagine. And I was reading through the reviews, and it looks like a lot of people take that stuff for stockings, which is something I love to do with Harvest Host locations.
That's a great idea.
And it's great because you're on your way. If you're a full-time RVer, or even if you're RVing like myself, it's hard to get stuff shipped to you and to figure out gifts and stuff like that. So on the go, I usually try to pick up candy and stuff for whoever I'm going to see next. And that's what I plan to do here, is get all my maple stuff and put it in stocking stuffers. But they've also got a petting zoo. I think your rig would fit there because you can do up to 45 feet. And they also have pets allowed. I don't know if you guys have a pet. Do you?
We do. We have 3. So, and I'm really surprised they're all sleeping right now, which is great. So we've got 2 dogs and a cat, and usually the cat is like here, just hanging out.
So Caly doesn't have any children. She chose not to have children. So I said she overcompensates with animals.
I do.
We would have a parakeet, a squirrel, and probably a couple pigs running around here if
we would.
I would let her.
And at least 5 fainting goats.
Yeah. They just won't fit in the RV. So
and a pony and a little miniature pony.
I know,
Oh,
exactly.
of course. Well, I've seen RVers with pot-bellied pigs. Have you seen that?
Yes, I have too. So we were in Key West a couple of years ago, and these folks not only had 2 good-sized dogs that I would say were anywhere from 40 to 60 pounds, they had a pot-bellied pig, and they were in a smaller Class C. So I was like, wow, impressive. But this pot-bellied pig would come outside every day, and she would just squeal up a storm. And it was so cute. It was so cute to see.
That's just weird.
No, it's awesome.
It's your sign.
I love bacon.
Exactly. It's a sign. We need a pot-bellied pig.
I love bacon.
I know you love me, and I'm going to get a pig now.
There you go.
So, babe, you remember every time we slept in the RV, you and I both were complaining about shoulder and back pains? Well, you went out there and found us a great mattress.
I did. I went to rvmattress.com by Brooklyn Bedding because their mattresses are known to be top of the line for comfort and quality. Plus, they're shipped to your door for FREE free. What I love about their mattresses is they're totally customizable, offering different firmness options, heights, and dimensions.
So you picked out the absolutely perfect RV mattress for us. So what were you looking for?
Well, first, 1, to fit the RV, which was a king size. And then 2, it had to be comfortable. I sleep really hot, so I had to find something that was going to keep me nice and cool while good for both of us being side sleepers.
So again, what mattress did we get? I still don't even know what mattress we got.
Oh, I got us the Signature Hybrid with the cooling cloud pillow top.
So not only was the mattress extremely comfortable, I noticed after 2 days that my shoulders stopped hurting, both shoulders.
And I was sleeping a lot cooler, which is incredibly impressive because I sleep so hot at night.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. Now, don't they have a great warranty?
They've got a great warranty, a 10-year warranty, plus they have a 120-night sleep trial for the mattress as well.
And what was nice is the mattress just showed up right at our front door one day.
Yes, and it's shipped for free, FREE free.
Yeah, we just absolutely love our new mattress from Brooklyn Bedding. It's incredible. And if you're a side sleeper like me and you have shoulder pains or if you have back pains, I'm telling you, you're going to absolutely love this mattress. And I have no doubt in my mind that's the mattress that made the difference because the minute we got home, my shoulders started hurting again.
So if you're tired of sleeping miserable and ready for an RV mattress upgrade, definitely get your new RV mattress by Brooklyn Bedding. Go out to rvmattress.com/RV pod to save 25% off your new mattress purchase. That's right. rvmattress.com/RV pod and save 25% off.
All right, so we're going to go to Zanesville, Ohio next, right?
Yeah, and this actually is, well, Zanesville. I was closer to Zanesville when I lived in Columbus, but this is the McDonald's greenhouse and corn maze. And who doesn't love a corn maze, a really good corn maze during the autumn season? And they have a lot of fun things to do there. And a lot of them, they like to say they kind of do more of an eerie transformation on some of their things to do at the farm. So they have like a haunted corn maze. A spooky pumpkin patch, but this place sounds really fun too. So tell us more about McDonald's greenhouse.
I love this one because it's kid friendly during the day, but it also has a fun night transition. You've got kids that can do those little pedal tractors. I don't know if you remember those.
Oh yeah.
So cute and bouncing on. Have you ever bounced on one of those jumping pillows that's kind of subterranean and it's just popped out and you...
Yeah.
Yes, those are the best.
Until
you go bouncing off.
I know. I'm very accident prone, so I try to stay away. But the donut, cider, and a haunted corn maze. What more could you ask for? And the thing I love about this is when I'm going out on Halloween, I'm coming back at like 2 a.m. You know, you've gone through the corn maze, you've done everything, and I don't want to have to go anywhere. I want to go back to my RV and sleep is what I want to do, which is what I'm going to do this October.
And that's what I love again about the Harvest Host Network is you know we talk about so many times and we use Harvest Host ourselves. but, stopping during your journey at these different locations. But also don't forget, check nearby at different Harvest Host locations. Have a date night, have a date weekend. Some places allow extra nights, so check into that. But it's a great way to support a local business. These are folks that are very passionate about what they're doing. They're doing it for a reason because they love it. So why not get out there and support them and support their business?
Yep. Totally agree. We actually stayed one Wisconsin. We were heading up to Wisconsin. We stayed at this one, and we were only their second guest ever.
Yeah.
And they were still building it out and stuff. It was still, I don't want to say it's rough. It wasn't rough.
They were just asking us, like, as an RVer, where would you want to park? As an RVer, would you like, something like this location or that, or what would you like to see and do? So it was really neat that they were taking our input, as RVers, longtime RVers, and saying, yeah, you're going to have people that would absolutely love that. You're going to have people that are going to want this. And so it was really cool.
Right. We bought some steaks from them, and they were really tiny steaks, again, because they were probably pure organic and not injected with any kind of growth hormones and all that. But and I looked at them, and I'm used to having the big steaks from Kroger and everything. And I'm like, oh, wow, these are huge. And then we got them home, and they were amazing. They were so good.
We cooked them that night. So we literally went to their little shop, and we bought a ton of meat and cheese and canned goods, and I bought candles. I mean, we ended up spending several $100s. And it was great. And then I literally went to the RV and thawed the steaks because everything was frozen, and cooked them right there, and they were delicious. They were so good.
Yeah, and the farmer was like, I was walking around.
He gave you a tour.
Yeah, the farmer was like, hop in the Gator, and I'm like, okay. And so I hopped in his Gator, and he took me around he showed me the whole 118 acres.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I can't remember how many, 300 acres, whatever it was, and showed the whole borderline. And like, what do you think if we build a road out to here to put RVers here in this little wooded area? And I'm like,
you're going to have some people that love it.
Some people will love that. So anyway, it's just such a great thing, and supporting the locals are very great.
It is. And that's what's so great, because it's not just some big corporate conglomeration. It is mom and pops, that it's their family history and legacy that they're opening up to people to come in there. Whether it's a drive-in movie theater that's been around since the 1950s, or a farm that has been in the family since the 20s, or a winery, or whatever it may be. I mean, just go and support something local. Right. I love it.
Are you ready to move on to number? Go ahead, Alyssa. Sorry.
I was just going to add on to that thought, in that that is what I love about this company. It's local growth, but at a national level, right? We're supporting all of these farms. And the first, we went full time and took our first trip out, and we stayed overnight somewhere. And there were multiple hosts at this event at this host location. And we were talking to one of them, and they said, Harvest Host saved our small business. They had a winery.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Alabama. And I was like, man, how often can you say as a marketer that I'm really proud of what I'm doing here? And I feel like this is just the best work I could be doing right now. Not very often. And it's just a 10 out of 10. I wouldn't be doing anything else right now. It's great.
That's awesome.
It is, because, a lot of the Harvest Host locations are in very rural locations, rural towns, rural cities, farms. It's acreage, it's out. And locals know about it, but people traveling across the U.S. and, somebody here from Kentucky is going to have no idea what's going on in Alabama. And so it's a great way to connect people across the country to these rural locations and businesses to really help them grow and become even more profitable, which is incredible.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it. All right. So the next one is the Porter's Orchard Farm Market and Cider Mill. And this is in Goodrich, Michigan. And this place sounds amazing because not only is it an apple orchard, but it sounds like there's a lot of other things to do there, like educational field trips and tours. And apparently they have these cider donuts that are pretty amazing. So tell us about this place.
I love this spot. I'm always going to go for the apple cider, which is why I picked this one.
Yes.
Their apple cider is award winning, and they serve it every year. They make it from scratch at the farm. A along with having a petting zoo. And you can even go out and pick your own apples in the orchard. Talk about a great date night. I love this one for couples.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I totally agree. So Randy and I have this this kind of standing thing about you pick, because we're going to do it this year. We are doing it this year. So several years ago, we went out to Montana. They had all these you pick farms, and I'm like, this is amazing. Let's go. And he's like, we're not going to go pick our own fruit and vegetables. And I'm like, yes, let's do it. And we hassled and haggled about this, and finally he's like, fine, find a place and we'll go. No exaggeration, by the time we decided to do that, they had all closed for the season and I didn't get to pick anything.
Well, now you just spun that.
I did. I spun it in my favor because it's all about me.
What she's not telling you is it was like 4 months too late for the season. It wasn't like just a couple days.
They still had signs out. There were places with signs out, and there were some places that were like, yeah, we literally just stopped that last week.
Don't you just hate that? I just did that with raspberry picking, and it was the last week, and I tell you, I found like one. And that was it.
You got to pick your raspberry.
Yay me.
That is great. So, okay, the last one. Of course, the last one. It's in French. And I don't know French. Okay, so this is located in Cookshire, Eaton, Quebec. It's Les Mal-Aimés.
I'm going to go with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so us I'm going to say us Americaners are going to, it's Les Mal-Aimés. Right? But in French, probably, right, Les Mal-Aimés in Cookshire, Eaton, Quebec. But no, this place sounds incredible. And what sounds really, really interesting about this place is that it's at kind of like this higher end level. So it's actually a gourmet restaurant that you can eat at. So that's one of the things that it features there. And it's all about farm to table. And they're very pet friendly. They're family friendly. They have wine there. So tell us a little bit more about this place.
I love this spot. We don't have a lot of high-end restaurants in this regard. I mean, this one, it's floor-to-ceiling windows, 7 to 10 courses, the full 9 yards. I've always wanted to go somewhere like this where you've got that restaurant just seated in nature and you get to take in all of the views and all of the beauty while also having this top quality food. And even getting to stay the night after, because 7 to 10 courses usually equals a couple of glasses of wine. I love that higher end experience. I think at the end of the day, when you've been RVing all day, you feel a little bit gross. Like, I've been sitting down, I need to shower off, I'm about to boondock. So it's nice to kind of rise to the occasion at sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes you just want to lay down and be in bed, but get up, get dressed, and have a nice evening. RV camping is very rough. You know, you're in your workout clothes, you're sweating in your car all day, you're hooking up your sewer tubes. So it kind of lends that elegance sometimes that I think I personally miss. And I'm really excited to check this one out later this fall.
Oh, and that would be incredible. And I'm thinking again, you know, for folks that are planning these great kind of cross-country trips or heading up into Canada, you know, this is something you could plan for an anniversary, you know, a birthday, some special occasion where you can go all out, plan to spend some time at this location. We're going to say Les Mal-Aimés. And have this amazing meal, 7 to 10 courses. I mean, that would be incredible. And then everything again is farm to table. So what they're growing there on site ends up becoming part of your dinner that evening, which I just think is so cool.
Yeah. Now you've got a very elaborate app at Harvest Host.
Yes.
And so someone that might want to, you know, of course, we're going to have this available on our website. You can link in the notes down there and link over and download this as a PDF. But don't you have different ways to search for like autumn locations or drive-ins or, you know, what alpaca farms or whatever? Can't you search by different criteria like that?
It's coming. So you should be able to type in alpaca or whatever your keyword is and something will pop up. But the best way to do it right now is to just filter by location types. We're coming up with collections soon, having those everything
Gotcha.
in one single collection that you can filter through. But right now, if you want to search, you can filter for wineries, farms, attractions, and that's really going to be your best bet. I love to search along my route and filter for those locations. If I want to stay at an alpaca farm, I narrow it down to farms and see what comes up on my route.
Gotcha. So yeah, and I guess I was meaning you have search functions where you can narrow it down. I didn't know if you could search by word or something like that. If you knew, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this.
I'm going to go with le because again it's French, so le malame.
Le malame.
And then again, I know nothing about the French language, so I am so sorry to anybody who speaks French that I have just totally butchered that, but that's as close as I can get.
It's okay. You're forgiven.
Okay, thank you.
I forgive you because I know 3 words in French.
Yes. Parlez-vous français?
All right. So what, if you don't mind, why don't you, most everybody knows what the Harvest Host Network is, but maybe give us, a 1 or 2 minute elevator speech. And I made Joel do this too, by the way, when we had him on the show. So maybe give us a little, our listeners, a 1-2 minute elevator speech. Why should someone that maybe is not a member become a member?
Listen, it's with campgrounds being as expensive as they are, it pays for itself in a couple of stays. We're at 99 to $100 a month. We're typically running a sale, and it's just a great way to see the country. It's a great way to get off the grid, to meet real American folks, learn different perspectives, and get a totally different feel for what's around. I think we often drive by these places and drive through states without ever seeing what they have to offer, right? But when you're stopping at a farm and you're meeting someone, I think it just gives you a great appreciation for what a country we've built, right? And how different everyone is and what people are doing to improve and prop us up as a nation. That's something that's been really humbling for me, to meet the farmers, meet the small business owners that make everything so great. It's just been wonderful to even learn about the agricultural stuff we've got going on, staying at all of these beautiful farms. I can't recommend it enough. As a user, as someone who works there, things can get mundane when you're on the road. Things can get lonely, but sitting down and meeting with someone and talking about their life and taking in what they do is just totally life-changing. I would not RV without it.
Right. Now, Caly and I, the way we use Harvest Host, I think a lot of other people use it the same way, is we use it for those in-between destinations. So if we're going from Kentucky to, we're going to be going to Glacier National Park at the end of this month, and we will probably stop at a couple.
We already have one booked already right now.
Yeah, we'll probably book a second one, and so we use that. But Alyssa's correct. I going back to this farm that we talked about up in Wisconsin, when the sun went down and it started getting dark, we've got all these different sounds that you're not used to.
Yeah,
animal
the whippoorwills.
Sounds. Right. I don't even know what that is still. But
they go whippoorwill, whippoorwill. It's a bird.
But then to see all the stars in the sky and all that, and you're there, you feel like you're by yourself. The farmer and his wife was there, but that's about it. And we were off in the middle of nowhere. It's just really amazing experience.
It's an incredible experience because as RVers, when you get to those end of your days, a lot of times you're looking for a rest area, a truck stop, a Walmart parking lot, a Cracker Barrel parking lot, right? And you're just sitting on a chunk of asphalt in the middle of somewhere next to a busy freeway.
Right.
And this is a great way to get just sometimes right off the freeway or just a few miles off the freeway and feel like you're in the middle of nowhere and get that opportunity, especially after a long day of driving, to go and just relax.
Right.
And then again, support that local business. One of the places that we stopped at here recently on the way out to the Black Hills was the Pioneer Auto Museum, which was in Murdock, South Dakota. And for a car lover, I was like a little kid on Christmas Day. Like I could not stop smiling from ear to ear, ran like the barn after barn after barn, beautifully done, of all of these vintage cars, even a vintage camper, which was so cool to see. Yep. And I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this. And I'm getting enjoyment out of it. I got a great place to stay and I'm supporting somebody local in their dream. So why not do it?
All right. So I'm going to put you on the spot, Alyssa. All right. So I know this probably varies from year to year, but what has been your favorite place you've stayed at in the Harvest Host Network?
I don't want you to play
I don't want you to play favoritism.
You just asked her to play favorites.
I did, and I'm sorry. Okay, give me your top 2 or 3 that you've stayed at. So I understand your position in the company. You don't want to play favoritism.
You're like, this one only.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to tag along with you. We went to the Tallahassee Automobile Museum.
Yeah.
Saw some of the original Batmobiles, saw Abraham Lincoln's hearse, which was weirdly notable.
Oh, wow.
It stuck in my mind. Just all sorts of cool things. And we stayed the night, and there's a Waffle House across the street. So we didn't even have to unhitch. We walked to the Waffle House, got the classic all-star breakfast, and went back and did the museum. I loved it. I'm not going to say that that's my favorite just for political reasons, but that was a very good experience.
No, that's all we were looking for. So Caly, our first experience with the Harvest Host is she got to swim with the manatees down in Florida.
I did in Crystal River.
We started off our experience with the Harvest Host at the top.
Right. I mean, and then that's it. I think people need to understand when it comes to the Harvest Host Network, it's kind of always been known as wineries and farms, but it has expanded so much. So you're getting, classic car museums. You're getting churches. You're getting farms. You're getting breweries. You're getting restaurants. You're getting hotels. Like one of the places we're staying at on the way out to the West again is a hotel, which is great because we get access to their parking lot and then all of kind of their stuff there on site. They have like 3 restaurants on site. And I'm like, this is perfect. We can just pull off the exit. We know we have a safe place to stay and get to use everything that they're offering.
It's a historical hotel, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So there's a lot of everything. There's museums, there's attractions, like we did the manatee swim in Crystal River. So there's just so much. So definitely get out there to Harvest Host. Check out and see all the different places that they have to offer inside of their network. I cannot talk today, can I?
Nope, you're fired.
I can't. Okay, good. Out of here.
But we're
it's
really
August
excited
1st.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes.
We're really excited about our partnership with Harvest Host, and we're glad to have Alyssa, you on the show and talk about these 5 different autumn locations that you can visit this autumn. And you want to take us out, babe?
Yeah. So thank you, Alyssa, so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a blast.
Awesome. And we want to thank all of you out there for joining in and watching us on YouTube because we're now on video. And for listening to us wherever you find your podcast. I know there's a lot of different places to find that now. And be sure to get out there and rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast. Be sure you click the subscribe button below on YouTube so that you can always be up to date on our newest podcast. And I am Caly Beheimer, Editor-in-Chief of RV Destinations Magazine, here with Randy Beheimer, President of RV Destinations Magazine, and our very special guest, Alyssa Chartier, and she is again the branding marketing manager there with Harvest Host. And we want to thank you all for joining us today. Thank you so much.
Be safe.
Safe travels, y'all.